Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon, is back with another one. Congratulations to all the players who made it to the All-Star weekend. But folks, this one entails Karl Malone. And the reason why the story came back up right now is because All-Star weekend is in Utah, okay? Salt Lake City, Utah. And folks, I'm telling you, this story is back and it's brewing. And this is one thing that happened 25 years ago, and I blamed the NBA to shove it under the rug. A lot of people said that, because Karl Malone was one of the poster child for the NBA, and now they brought him back to be a judge in the slam dunk contest. But that's not why his name is back in the media. 25 years ago, when Karl Malone was 20 years old, a college student, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl. This man here, Karl Malone, when he was 20 years old, a college student, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl. What does that make you, Karl Malone? A child molester? A pedophile? And how come you went on to have such an illustrious NBA career after you became a pedophile and the NBA knows about it? Shoved it under the rug. Have you as a poster child? Karl Malone, John Stockton, Patrick Ewing, not saying Patrick Ewing was doing anything bad. Charles Oakley, you know what I'm saying? Charles Barkley, all these guys together. You never know. I'm not saying the others did what Karl Malone did, but I'm just saying, I'm just naming out a few of the guys from back in the days. For my old timers who listen to the channel, you know what I'm talking about. But Karl Malone was the mailman, is the mailman for the NBA, and he's been mailing semen in young girls for a very long time. And the NBA didn't do nothing about it. Now they brought him back as a poster child. He came back as a judge to represent the slam dunk contest, knowing that this man impregnated a 13-year-old girl 25 years ago. And the NBA did nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, the NBA did nothing about it. Now we have the 2023 All-Star Weekend in Salt Lake City, Utah. And Karl Malone, once again, is representing the NBA. The NBA is represented by a pedophile. Karl Malone, child molester. The NBA is represented by a pedophile. Who they allowed to get away with it. Shoved it under the rug. Because I remember when Karl Malone played for the Utah Jazz, back then the Utah Jazz was like a household, American poster team with John Stockton, Karl Malone. I mean, they were great together, playing basketball. But Karl Malone, man, you're up in age now, sitting back on your tractor in Arkansas, driving, cutting on all those woods, raising all these cows, these goats, these hogs, these pigs, these fowls. What do you say about what you did 25 years ago? And your son, he didn't find out till a few years ago. A few years ago. Let's get into this a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because this is ludicrous. Insane. Karl Malone, a Utah Jazz legend, one of the face of the weekend, served as a judge Saturday in the slam dunk contest. But that decision was widely criticized given Malone's sketchy off-court pass. It was first reported 25 years ago that when Malone was a 20-year-old college student, he had impregnated a 13-year-old girl in 1983. And he spent years denying it, denying his son. You son of a bitch. You spent years denying this young man. And I'm going to get into this about this young man. You spent years, Karl Malone, denying you impregnate a 13-year-old girl. And you spend years after that denying your son. Man, what does that make you, Karl Malone? And the NBA makes you the face, knowing the fact that you're a pedophile that wasn't prosecuted? Damn it, man. Damn it, man. It's a shame. Yeah. So in 1983, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl. They had a son together. Now, his son is an offensive lineman in the NFL. You see how things goes around? Daddy has sports genes. The son gets sports genes. You can't hide it, Karl Malone. The funny thing about it is, Karl Malone, you didn't even give the young man your name, your last name, even after you claimed him. His name is Demetrius Bell. Hey, Demetrius, what's going on, man? Hey, keep your head up. Your father, my goodness. Demetrius Bell. It took a while for him to develop a relationship with this young man. He never faced charges, Karl Malone. Never faced charges. The Utah legend, Karl Malone, that impregnate a 12-year-old girl and bring forth this young man. Okay? Karl Malone never got prosecuted for impregnate a 13-year-old girl and bring forth this young man. The NBA swept it under the rug. They call him the mailman in the NBA. I guess he's been mailing semen a long time ago in young girls. Now you're sitting back on your tractors in Arkansas, cutting down woods, raising cows, goats, chickens, donkeys, horses. And I even saw you look like a vegan at the All-Star weekend this week. Skin and bones. Are you stressing from what you did in your past? Is it catching up to you? Making you look ugly, Karl Malone? Because what you did back then was a very ugly thing. And you hid it from the press, from everyone. You didn't even give the young man your name, your last name, when you come clean. You could have had him change his name, last name to Malone. But again, once again, you disrespect this young man. Hey, young man, keep your last name Bell. Fuck his last name Malone. You know what I'm saying? He molested your mom. You know, word is bond. Yeah. Karl Malone, you're a piece of shit, man. You're always a piece of shit anyway in the league. Always trying to start fights with other players, especially when your team is losing. Now I understand and I see some of your anger and your frustration that you took out on the court is because you knew you were carrying a burden for a very long time where you impregnate a 13-year-old girl and you were at the age of 20. And that made you, what, Karl Malone? You should have been registered as a sex offender. You should have been prosecuted by law and registered as a sex offender. But the NBA, because you were their mailman, they shove it under the rug and let you get away. Let you get away, Karl Malone, with what? The NBA let you get away with what? Yes, it brought forth this precious young man, but Karl Malone, you got away with one. And I hope you do good for the rest of your life because you got away with a big one and you still became the poster child. Up until this day, you're representing the face of the NBA. Man, shame on you. Shame on you. Chronic pain, the inner demon. Like, share, subscribe to the machine. Peace.